Okay, so hi! Hello. I have not done like a sit down video in so long. I haven't even sat in this position in so long because I moved up here. I sit here now. But the lighting is absolutely terrible today, so I thought I'll just sit in front of the window. And why are my cheeks so pink? Looks like I've smeared blusher all over them. I haven't. So today I'm going to be doing the Sagittarius Book Tag, which was a new tag created by Joanne Notations. I will leave a link to her video down below so you can check that out. She's going to be doing a video, or she's going to be making a tag on for each of the signs of the zodiac, so when their season starts. So I'm not quite sure when Sagittarius season ends. I think it could be the 18th. So I have left this video really late. I've been meaning to do this for so long and I just kept forgetting. Oh well, I'm finally here, I'm finally doing it. But I am a Sagittarius, that is the main reason why I'm doing this video. I was born on the 26th of November, so roughly just about the start of Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season starts on the 23rd of November, so I just made it. A fun fact, my due date was actually, I'm getting off on a tangent already, but my due date was actually the 16th of November, so that would have made me a Scorpio, but I ended up, I was late, so I decided to hang on. I was like 10 days over my due date. Baby Lord knew that she wanted to be a Sagittarius. So the first question on the tag is, Sagittariuses, that is such a hard word to say, Sagittariuses are one of the biggest travellers among all zodiac signs. Bitch, I've never left my small town. I've never left the UK. Name a book that gives you a great sense of adventure through travelling. I didn't want to use the books that Joanne used in hers, so I did try to switch it up a little bit, but for the first two prompts I very nearly used the same books that she did. And technically for the first one I have, sort of. But I decided to go for The Hobbit. I wanted to do the Lord of the Rings, but she chose Lord of the Rings, and I thought, well, I'm not going to just straight up copy that. I won't do that. I decided just to go for The Hobbit because I feel like it is probably one of the books that I own where I feel like there is a real sense of adventure throughout like the whole novel. You know, we're gradually making our way to the Misty Mountains for the dwarves to reclaim their homeland. I absolutely love The Hobbit. I think I enjoyed it more than Lord of the Rings. Don't attack me. Maybe because it's just one book though, I actually quite enjoyed it. I felt like it had, I think it's more aimed for like kids, and then Lord of the Rings is more for like mature readers, I think. I might be wrong, but I just loved The Hobbit. I feel like the pace was really just fast and just got moving along great, and I loved it. I loved The Hobbit. So it is the story of Bilbo Baggins and his adventures with a group of, is it 13 dwarves? 14 dwarves. 13 dwarves, yeah. And Gandalf as well. And they all head off on an adventure, and it's just to get to, for the dwarves to reclaim their homeland. And I really enjoyed it. I really loved this book. I think I gave it 5 stars when I first read it. I kind of want to read it again. I feel like it's a great book, just full of like adventures and shenanigans and everything. So, well worth the read. Number 2. Known to be determined and always strive to achieve their goals, name a book with a main character who will do anything to achieve their goals. I sort of went on a different route for this one. I did want to kind of choose Game of Thrones, but I decided instead to go with the Hunger Games because, hear me out, right? But I definitely felt like Katniss, especially in this one, she was willing to do anything to achieve her goals, which was to survive. Like, her whole thing in this book was that she wanted to survive to get back to her sister. You know, she took her place in the games, and she was prepared to do anything. You know, she killed people, unlike Peeta, who didn't bother killing anybody. Did he kill anybody the entire of the two Hunger Games that he was in? I don't think he did. If he did, I must have brushed over and not noticed it. But like, she was truly prepared to give it her all to make sure that she got back home to her sister and her mum as well, I guess. But she didn't really seem to care much about her mum. So I definitely feel like Katniss from the Hunger Games. And she had a bow and arrow. She fought with a bow and arrow. The Sagittarius is literally the archer. You know, pa-chung. It is the archer. Hunger Games. Katniss Everdeen, if she's not a Sagittarius, she should be. We're claiming her. We're claiming her. But if you don't know what the Hunger Games is about, basically, it is a dystopian future where I think it's supposed to be set in America. So like America, like all the states and that are now districts. There's District 1 to 12. There was a district 13, but it was destroyed many years ago. Every year, each district has to give up 2 tributes from their town, a boy and a girl, between the ages of about like 12 and 18, I think they are. And they go off to the magical land of the capital, where the people there are like so extravagant and rich, and the kids are then forced into an arena where they have to fight to the death until only one remains victorious, and they get to go home to their district and live like a happy, peaceful life afterwards, apart from the fact that they're severely suffering from PTSD, and most of them probably turn to alcohol and some sort of addiction. This book was for kids. Number 3. Sagittarius signs have a great sense of humour. Name a book that made you laugh out loud. I couldn't actually think of a book for this one. I mean, there probably are books that have made me laugh. I don't read an awful lot like pure comedy or anything, so I wasn't really sure what to go for, and I was trying to think of a book where I genuinely did laugh out loud. I can't honestly think of one, so I just decided to go for Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine, because I feel like there were times where I did chuckle. Who am I? Edward Cullen? I chuckled a few times just at the way our main character, just the way she like treats other people, the way she kind of is around them, and just her as a person. She herself is suffering severely from, I thought of it as kind of PTSD, but just from the past and what happened in her life. That's a spoiler. I thought I heard somebody downstairs, but there's nobody there. That's spooky. Go away, ghost. I absolutely loved this book. I thought it was really, really good. And there were times where I felt like just the main character, just the way she was. Sometimes the way she treated people, like she was so abrupt with people. She just didn't have a filter, and I loved that. Like I loved, she was quite innocent at times, and I just felt like just the way she spoke to other people, it just made me laugh. I felt like it was quite refreshing. She was quite a nice character. Well written, well developed. This book was definitely, like, it's good. I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of those books where you probably either love it or hate it, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like it's also quite sad once you kind of know everything, and once you know like her backstory, and it's like she's one of those people that just lives by like structure, you know, she has her routine of what she does. I just absolutely love this book, and I feel like there were times where it did make me kind of laugh out loud. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. Eleanor Oliphant leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch every day, and buys the same two bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetable existence, except sometimes everything. This book was really good, and I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud a few times at it. Oh my god, I'm missing one. I'm missing a book. Sagittarius signs love to be outdoors. Name a book which takes place mainly outdoors. I decided for this one just to say The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I nearly dropped it. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia, because I feel like our characters in it are travelling quite a lot throughout Narnia. They're always on the go. I know at one point they're with the beavers, and then they're at Aslan's bit, but they're kind of camping there, aren't they? Like they're in tents and stuff. But I feel like this book is mostly set outdoors, so I'm gonna just go for that one. I like this one. This is probably my favourite book in the series, probably because like I just love the movies so much. I keep hearing noises, but I think it's just people outside. It just sounds like it's in my house. I'm scared. This is definitely my favourite book in the series. I just love it. It's not as long as I thought it was going to be. Like, I bought the series and they're all like the same, these really short books. I was actually surprised. I was imagining them all to be like these kind of books, you know? I didn't realise they were so quick. If you don't know the story of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which I'm sure most people probably do, there's a lion, there's a witch, there's a wardrobe. Lucy goes through it, and then Lucy and Edmund goes through it, and then Lucy, Edmund, Peter and Susan all go through it. They meet good characters, they meet bad characters, there's a battle at the end. You know the rest of the story. And finally, number 5. Sagittariuses hate being constrained. Name a book where the main character breaks free from constraints. I honestly couldn't think of a book for this. I was trying to think of something more serious, if I had any books where characters had maybe been like abducted, kidnapped, were being held against their will. And there probably is, but I feel like they're probably only like a short, fleeting thing that's only like a plot point for like one chapter. It's not like the focus of the whole book. So I was trying to think of something different, but I can't. Let's have a look. Like Game of Thrones? characters in that broke free, but I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from this. I don't know the rest of the world. Oh, I have to break free. Okay, so I have a book, and I think it works. I mean, it's not quite the same, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. And I'm just decided to go for the Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is, it's based on a true story, the true story of a man who was held in the Jewish concentration camp in Auschwitz. This book was really, it was good. I read it last year. I don't remember an awful lot about it. I read it last year and I thought it was good. I had a few faults, I think, just with the writing style, the way it was written. I think that the author had previously written like screenplays, or she wrote like scripts and stuff, and you could definitely tell when reading this, just the way the dialogue and everything was kind of, the way it was kind of spaced out, it just reminded me more of like directions rather than actually telling you a story. The story is about a man who becomes a tattooist in Auschwitz, and there he meets, from doing that job, he meets a young girl, or a young woman I should say, and he basically falls in love with her. It's like love at first sight. He's determined to survive for her. He does technically break free, but like he doesn't technically break free. It's just that he survives until the war is ended. Or like, is it, why do I not remember anything about World War II? Is it like our guys, whatever, the Allied races? No! I don't know if it's the Americans in the UK and France and everything. When we like make it to Germany, and I don't know, but either way, when the war ends and all these soldiers come to like the camps and everything, and people are getting released, people are finally getting out. So he doesn't essentially break free, but it's just that he survives until the point where they all get, I'm not really gonna say rescued, because honestly the way they were treated is still awful. Like, it's not like, from the way like it was described in this book, it's not like just, oh yeah, the soldiers all advanced and everybody was saved. They were literally all just kind of like put on trains and set separate ways, and they all get separated and stuff. It seems like absolute chaos, and I can't remember how the main character, I don't really remember actually what his kind of story was, where he went, how he kind of got back to his family and stuff like that. I don't really remember, but he technically does sort of break free. He becomes free. He's given his freedom back. I mean, it was a good book. I had a few issues with it. I think it was just the flow of the story and just the way it was written. Really, I struggled with that. But at the same time, I would still say that it is a pretty good book to read, because it's insightful. It's interesting to read about, but also really sad. I don't really like reading books about concentration camps and the Holocaust. It's so sad, but at the same time people had to go through it, so I'm sure that I can put up with reading it just to hear their stories and how they survived, and the people who didn't. So that is the last of the questions. If you feel like doing this tag, I will leave a link down below to the original video, and I'll write the questions down as well. If you want to take part, consider yourself tagged, especially if you're a Sagittarius like me. Consider yourself tagged. But this is an open tag. My tags are always open tags. You see this video, you just do it. You do it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you all in my next one, whatever that may be. Probably another vlogmas, because that's all I'm doing at the moment, even though I'm not really doing anything. Goodbye. Should I pose for a thumbnail with these books? I suppose so.